Neymar Jr. is missing. Not just missing, how he got removed, why his cards are untradeable, and whether there's any hope of him coming back. Stick around because this is everything you need to know. We're gonna go section by section. We're gonna have maybe 6 or 7 sections. I don't know how much I prepared. Well, let's get started. Section 1, Timeline and what actually happened. First, let's set up the timeline so we understand the sequence. So, Neymar Jr. was playing for Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League, which is a league EA has licenses for, so his cards could normally exist. Then he moved back to Santos FC in Brazil. This is huge. Santos is part of the Brazilian Domestic League. The problem is, EA does not currently have licensing rights for Santos FC nor the Brazilian Serie A. Campeonato Brasileiro Serie A is the name. In many of its games, including FC25, FC26, and FC Mobile. Because of that, when games roster updates happened, Neymar's cards tied to a club or league that's not licensed get affected. I don't know what I'm saying. That's when things changed, removable from market or being made untradeable. So basically, his move to a club is an unlicensed league triggered the changes. Section 2. What does licensing mean here? What is licensing in this context and why it's the central issue? A league license means EA has negotiated rights to use official club names, club logos, kits, player faces, etc. for a league that covers many clubs under that competition's umbrella. If EA doesn't have that license, they can't legally display those clubs or players in their real forms when they're playing in that league. That includes the club, the uniforms, sometimes even players' names or likeness. Also, there's image rights or individual licensing, even if the league is not licensed. Sometimes special or individual deals can let a player's card exist, but that's tricky and expensive. So when Neymar moved to Santos, Brazil, the Brazilian league license issue kicks in, which means EA cannot represent him in all modes or in official club form. That's the crux or cruise. What am I saying? Section 3. Consequences. Why are player what players are seeing yeah, I'm stuttering. Okay. Because of the license gap, here are specific changes and consequences we see. Number 1. Untradeable cards. Many of Neymar's existing cards become untradeable. That means you cannot buy or sell them on the market anymore. People reported the 103 OVR Neymar card being made untradeable after his move to Santos. Number 2. Removal or unavailability in some modes. In some game modes, such as Kickoff, Career, etc., his representation via Santos FC isn't possible because the club isn't in the game. So, his Santos version can't appear. Number 3. No new cards reflecting the Santos transfer. EA hasn't been releasing cards that show Neymar at Santos, likely because that would require the club license. So, his cards remain tied to Al Hilal or older versions. Number 4. Absence in new game versions. For EAFC26, Neymar is not included at launch because of the Brazilian league licensing issue. So if you start the game fresh, You won't see him in the base squad. Section now, we're not going to say number 4, we're going to section 4. Why it's hard for EA to just fix this. Okay, so if they want to bring Neymar back properly, what stands in the way? Well, here's the thing. They need to negotiate the Brazilian league license. That means deals with the league may be CBF with each club and possibly individual image rights for players. There may be legal or regularity barriers in Brazil. For example, Brazil has something called the Pele Law that relates to image rights, which can complicate it. I don't know why it's called Pele though. Some articles mention that for EA to get full rights, they might have to deal with both clubs and individual players. Cost is another thing. Licensing major leagues is expensive. EA has to weigh is it worth investing so the Brazilian league is fully licensed or just keep working with what they have. They need to weigh it. Also, time is needed. Roster updates, legal work, contract renewals all take time. Remember, guys, EA may prefer to wait until they can do it cleanly rather than rush. So, even though fans want Neymar back, EA can't just flick a switch. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. I don't know what's those. Section 5. What's the current status slash spectaculations? Current status of Neymar's card. Current status. Neymar's cards exist, but many are untradeable, especially those tied to market items. Some mods lack his Santos FC version. He's not in FC26 base roster. EA has not officially announced that Neymar is gone forever, just that licensing restrictions are blocking full inclusion. There's speculation that EA might secure Brazilian leagues rights in a future update or a later version of the game. If that happens, Neymar likely returns properly. Another speculation, even if they don't get full licensing soon, they might bring Neymar in via special event cards or use generic club or free agent versions which don't violate licensing. Similar walkaround have happened before, so there is hope, just not confirmed when. And section 6 and the last section. What players should do or what to check. For you guys playing FC Mobile, here are some tips and what to watch out for. If you already have Neymar cards, especially high-rated ones, watch whether they become untradeable. If you want market value, consider selling before they lose that status. If possible, keep up with EA's announcements. If EA ever announces they have licensed Brazilian League or Santos FC, that's your signal that Neymar might come back properly. Watch special events slash promotional cards. Sometimes EA makes special deals to get specific players even when normal licensing doesn't allow full inclusion. Engage with community, petitions, feedback, forums. Sometimes EA responds when lots of players ask for changes. Be prepared that even after license negotiations, there may be delays before actual in-game implementation, such as model updates, club kits, etc. So here it is, the full picture behind why Neymar Jr. isn't fully in FC Mobile and FC26 right now. If you couldn't understand, my voice was a bit complicated because of school opened. Skip that. it's not that EA hates Neymar or wants to erase him. It's licensing. The club, the league rights, image rights, and all of that. If you ask me, it's disappointing, but I believe he'll be back, whether as a special card or when EA locks in the Brazilian league license. What do you guys think? Will Neymar return in FC27 or as an icon? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want, I can make a follow-up when we get official EA updates. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more interesting contents such as this one. Also share this video with fellow FC mobile players. FC players only, because I talked about FC26 as well, so they can understand that and they can get the tips. Well, anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Also, skip my stuttering.
Also, I heard that my editor cannot give the captions today, so you have to hear it with your headphones. Well, not with high volume.